Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your February 2023 Tarot card and Astrology readings. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. For those of you who are new, my name is Jane. Thank you all so much for being here. So as always, each month we have both a tarot card reading and an astrology reading. And the timestamps for each segment will be found in the description box and the comment thread down below. You're welcome to watch for your sun, moon, or rising sign. And if you're here for love, don't forget to check out your Venus sign as well. If you are a subscriber on my website, janeinternational.com, please do not forget to log in to access the comprehensive reading. And if you would like more information on how to join, please see the description box in the comment thread down below for all the info. All right, let's go ahead and get into the reading. Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your February 2023 tarot card reading. So we are going to open up this channel with a card from my intuitive deck today. So let's see what comes through here for Gemini for February. So the word interference is coming to my mind. That Gemini, I don't know if it's going to be a person specifically. It might not be a person, but I feel that something may come up that may feel like it is interfering with what it is you're trying to do. But it might be a good kind of interference, like maybe you meet someone incredible and like while you're so focused on your career, but then you meet someone, it's like, oh, well, maybe I kind of want to get to know them a little bit better, or something that might not necessarily completely derail you and might be more a part of the bigger picture that perhaps maybe you didn't feel entirely ready for now. And I'm definitely hearing something about the words you say, the words you speak. They feel a little extra magical right now, right? So if you are talking about a dream, or you're talking about something that you're hoping to accomplish, or someone you might like to meet, I feel like they're doing a little bit extra right now. I don't quite know why that is, or I don't really see anything specific in the astrology to indicate that, but nothing wrong with that. So make sure you're using your words in a really specific and intentional way. Be careful about complaining or talking badly about someone behind their back or anything like that, because I feel that there is a strong creation well, maybe this is Mars and Gemini. I don't know why I said I didn't know why. It probably is Mars and Gemini moving direct now. It's accelerating. So your words are more powerful than they normally are. Speak into existence the things you wish to exist. Okay? So let's take a look here. What does the universe need from Gemini? What else does the universe need from Gemini? We have the Fool, to be open-hearted. This is why that interception, like I said, it's not going to be a bad thing, I don't think. It may feel like you're getting derailed and all your plans that you had might not necessarily be able to go exactly according to plan, but I think this is going to be something great that happens. And I think with the foolish man, to accept it and invite it in with open arms and an open heart is going to be the best possible plan of action. All right, you're in a really cool spot right now where it's just kind of like choices matter. I think if you make choices that are in line with your greatest desires or your greatest vision, even if it's on a small scale, you're going to get there a lot faster than you think. In the environment, we have a King of Cups. Now, I don't like to dangle carrots in these readings, meaning I don't like to be like, oh, the love of your life is going to enter. You're going to have a soulmate come in or something like that. I know a lot of people feed off of that. It's not my style. However, the King of Cups is a really welcome person. And it might be romantic, or it may be someone not romantic, but that you feel genuinely safe with, genuinely emotionally safe with. And I think that's an important highlight point. Okay, it has to be emotional security. The King of Cups is incredibly intelligent, ambitious in the world. They're not just like these emotional crybabies, right? These are people who have worldly desires. They want to go out and build things and conquer things and become these incredible people. They are emotionally intelligent, which is one of the reasons why they are usually quite successful. All right, they can read people and read the room and read your energy. And Gemini, this may be someone that can read you in the way that you can read other people, because Gemini is so good at that, right? Nothing can really escape a Gemini. I don't know. All this sort of tongue twisting going on today. Nothing can escape the Gemini observance. But this one observes you the way you normally observe others. So in a way, there's a little accountability going on here with this King of Cups. Now, this might be someone that enters your life. There may be someone new coming in for some of you. And if it is romantic, I say it's worth a shot. Now, I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to move forward into marriage and all of that, but usually a King of Cups is a little bit more relationship, commitment, monogamy oriented, although it doesn't have to be that way, but usually that is the case. And you, with this foolish man, or the Fool card, right, with that open heart, this is the interception, I think. Could also be a really amazing client or a new job or whatever. Okay, so you get to fill in the blanks as to what that might be. And of course, moving into February, you might not know what it is. You might not know until the end of February, or maybe not even until March. But that is something to be open-minded about. So what else for Gemini? What else does Gemini need to know for February 2023? We have Four of Swords, the Magician. See what I mean? There's magic in the air right now. So if you are wanting to manifest something, please say it out loud. Okay? Or write it down. Use the power of the word, right? They always say, they call it spelling for a reason, right? You're literally casting spells when you write things down. You are spelling. I love this peace of mind. Now, Mars may have done a number on you, but I think throughout February, things are going to start to calm down. And you're going to start to feel really connected with yourself. And I think when you're connected with yourself, you start to feel connected with other things. You feel connected with your plan. You feel connected with your own personal vision. You feel connected with your life and with the things you do in your life and with the people you have in your life. But the connection is maybe a little bit more, right? This is usually a disconnection card where you kind of step away from things. So the connection that you may feel may be more metaphysical, where you are physically separate from a person or physically separate from a thing, but you still feel happy and fulfilled by it. Okay? Now, again, the Magician, we love. It is a card that is ruled by Mercury, your ruling planet. And we do have Mercury coming into conjunction with Pluto just a few days before it enters into Aquarius, which happens on the 11th. Now, this Pluto-Mercury conjunction, which I don't know if I talked about it in the astrology part. I always record the astrology part before the cards, so I don't remember if I talked about it or not. But Pluto is going to be delivering, or asking Mercury to deliver, rather, an important message that you need to know. And it may have a lot to do with yourself. It may have to do with how you relate to people. It may have to do with what it is you need to prioritize. So pay attention to those gut feelings, because I think they're going to be trying to get something from you, or trying to get you to go to a specific place or something like that. And you need to be in tune with those gut feelings or those heart feelings. I'm not saying you can completely obliterate logic. You can still be logical about things, but there's likely something that you feel you should do that is in contrast with what you feel you want to do. And I think this King of Cups may be a part of that. King of Cups is someone you want to spend time with, you want to talk to, you want to be a part of what they have going on. And as much as it may disrupt your path, it does seem to be a detour that you feel happy to take. Eight of Wands. Okay. Oh, and there he is, very center of the reading. With an Ace of Wands, right? There's a lot going on with this King of Cups. Clearly it's environmental. This is not you. This is clearly someone else. Passion, even sexuality for some of you, if it is in fact romantic. There is a new venture. I feel that this person represents a new kind of life. They feel like a gateway to me. This is a gateway or a threshold. Now, if this is a romantic contact, now, if you're already in a relationship with this person, it might indicate that some of you are talking more seriously about your future. So you've been married for 20 years, you're looking at retirement, you may start looking at retirement. You just start dating, you might be talking about like, oh, let's put a label on this. We're officially dating or we're together, right? If this is not romantic, okay, this could be a creative venture, and this is the initiation of that. It could be a job offer, although I usually see that more with the Ace of Coins, but that's okay. This does feel out of the box, though, for you, Gemini. It does feel like something unexpected. It is an interception. But like, wow. And I'm almost feeling a sense of awe and a sense of wonderment at the miraculousness of the entry of this opportunity. Now, the Eight of Wands does also, well, it indicates speed and focus. Things moving quickly, and you are clearly moving toward this King of Cups. It might be that you spoke this King of Cups into existence, or you spoke this Ace of Wands into existence even, and it is coming by way of the King of Cups, right? You get the Ace of Wands through this person. Now, for those of you who are in rocky or unhealthy or toxic relationships, this is 100% not a promise that all of a sudden that person is going to suddenly change. Not the promise here. It's not what's going on. This may be an opportunity for you to leave, and the King of Cups seems to be a catalyst for that. Okay, also you could apply that to a job or a work environment or a family environment as well. The thing about the King of Cups is it makes you feel safe to go after this Ace of Wands. It doesn't put you in a position where you're sitting there doubting and questioning. Now, we'll see what the last row of cards have to say, but from what I'm seeing with just these 6 cards, I see peace of mind, and I do see decisiveness with this Two of Coins. It seems pretty decisive. You're officially landing on something where you're like, okay, that's where I want to be, and there's no question. I think that's going to feel nice for Gemini to not be in a state of questioning and wondering and discerning and trying to make up your mind and all of that. Because I know that Mars has done a number on a bunch of signs. That Mars retrograde in Gemini was very busy. It was all over the place. A lot of change, a lot of transition happened. So to finally land on something and to feel secure and sure is truly a blessing in and of itself, but there are many, many blessings to follow once that decision is not only made, but also executed upon. Okay? So there's beauty, there is passion, there is love, there is excitement, and there is joy for life. Love me an Ace of Wands. Now remember, the Ace of Wands is just a potential. It is not a guarantee of anything. You have to do something with an ace. You have to nurture it. You have to act upon it. You have to move towards it. It's kind of like if someone like hands you a piece of paper to sign. Let's say you're buying a house. So they give you the contract, but if you don't sign the paperwork, it's not yours. You have to sign the paperwork and then you have to move into the house, right? You got to do something with it. Otherwise, it's just like this open-ended whatever. Okay? So what else for Gemini? What else does Gemini need to know for February? Well, there's the confusion. I had a feeling, that's why I said, I don't know what's coming on this bottom row. I had a feeling something like that was coming because it felt too good to be true. But it doesn't mean, Seven of Cups doesn't always mean chaotic confusion. Sometimes it just means options. Beautiful. And even with that Seven of Cups, I'm actually not even worried about it. I feel that it's a blip on the radar here. Gemini, once this kind of like, I don't know, King of Cups, Ace of Wand thing starts to manifest, it is going to put you in this spiral of like, but wait, that wasn't my plan. That's not what I thought it was going to look like. It's not even really, I'm not even sure that that's really what I want. And you're going to go through that whole bit. But I don't think that bit is going to last very long because boom, immediately we get the Chariot. All right. Now, like I say, this King of Cups might be for some a voice that makes you feel safe in making a specific decision. It may come as a, like, let me tell you a personal story if you don't mind. I've said this story before. Some of you may have heard it. I once was dating, like I had my own toxic relationship back in my 20s, okay? And during that time, I had a business coach and I had my own business and everything. And we once met up and we started talking about personal stuff, which we didn't normally do. So we started talking about personal stuff and I kind of was like expressing my frustration with this relationship. And out of nowhere, this guy who was like multimillionaire, super successful. He had like this $150 million real estate thing that he was doing in Vegas. Like he was really, really successful. I never thought in a million years that he would even remotely look at me, right? Threw it into the conversation. Hey, if you do end it, if you're ever single, put me on the list. And I'm like, what list? He's like, the list of people that you're going to date. And that for me was a catalyst, right? It made me feel safe and secure that if I broke up with my toxic ex, that guys like that would want to date me. Okay. And so in that story, as the example, he would have been my King of Cups. But the real thing was getting out of that relationship. And that's why that King of Cups showed up. It doesn't mean that there's going to be like a whole brand new person for you. It just means it's time for you to leave. Okay? But once that happens, it does put you in like, wait a second. Should I break up? Should I do this? I don't know. Right? This is to be expected when you're thrown a curveball like that, when someone literally intercepts your path and puts something in your head, plants a seed in your mind that just wasn't there before. And now all of a sudden it's different now. Okay? But there is speed this month for you, Gemini. Mars is accelerating. He's going through. He's finishing out his post-shadow phase. He'll officially finish next month in March. But still accelerating nonetheless. Mars is going to push a lot of things through, especially if certain projects or whatever were held up through that Mars retrograde, or if they were suspended or delayed or dependent on other people, whatever the case. A lot of those things are going to start moving forward again. And again, Four of Coins, I do feel a lot of stability in this reading for you. You are extremely safe. You are extremely secure. This Ace of Wands is well grounded. Now, I know that this Four of Coins can sometimes be a card of stubbornness. And maybe that's why this is causing the Seven of Cups. Because maybe you needed something to come in and shake you loose. Because the Chariot was on its way. Because you've been speaking the Chariot into existence. Okay? You've been speaking the Chariot into existence, Magician and this, and the King of Cups shows up to catalyze this Ace of Wands. This all happened because you were stuck. Yes, a little bit of confusion, no big deal. You can deal with that. But again, the foolish man or the fool, accept it with open heart. Accept it with open arms. There's no reason you should be pushing anything away. Okay? Now we're going to pull out the clarifiers. Those of you who are new, the cards we're going to cover are in the comprehensive reading. All that info down below. We usually talk another 25 to 30 minutes, so it's like getting a whole reading, a whole nother reading, where we build upon all these energies here. I'm going to take this one. So let's clarify the Fool and what the universe needs from you, Gemini. So we have the Lovers, which of course is the Gemini card. Five of Cups. And the World. Temperance in the environment, we have the Six of Swords. And the Six of Coins in the environment. Okay. So what else for Gemini? What else do they need to know about this Four of Swords? Ooh, I love this Magician energy. I love the Fool. I love the Magician and the Chariot. You're getting some really, really cool major arcana. I'm so sorry. I just dropped this. Hold on. Let me get it. And, another King of Cups. That one fell on the floor. So, got the Magician. Another Six of Swords. Judgment. Ace of Coins. Wow, I'm loving these aces for you. This is really a year of fresh starts and fresh beginnings. I think a lot of people are just like, oh yes, finally, my goodness, finally. A pandemic, like the fallout after 2020 with all that Capricorn stuff, it just like it never lifted for some people. Queen of Coins, King of Wands. Oh my goodness, I'm loving how these cards are oh my gosh, I can't even. Loving how these cards are tying together. This is bonkers. Okay, I don't even mind the death with... There's definitely destructive energy, right? Death, the Tower with the King of Cups, it's all connected. This King of Cups is going to be the deliverer of a lot of change in your life, Gemini. We have the Hierophant. What was this card? I forgot. Oh, Ace of Wands, that's right. Hierophant, the Five of Swords. Three of Coins, Six of Cups, Nine of Cups, another Six of Coins. A lot of environmental cards are repeating here. Ooh, and we officially have all the aces. Another Eight of Wands. And the Devil. The Hanged Man. The Star. And last but not least, the Emperor. Okay, so this is where we're going to pick up, Gemini. If you want to join, you are absolutely more than welcome. Thank you all so much. I hope you have an amazing February. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your monthly astrology reading for February 2023. So let's take a look here at what's coming through. So as we know, all the planets right now are moving direct, which means there are no retrogrades in the sky at all, and there won't be until April when Mercury retrogrades in Taurus. So right now we have a lot of astrological support for movement. So if there have been things, Gemini, especially for you as the host of this Mars retrograde, if things have felt a little like start, stop, you know, just kind of like jerky, and there hasn't been a lot of flow or fluidity, or it's been really heated, or whatever the case is, or there's been large peaks and valleys of energy, that is starting to close out for you. Now, Mars is still in your sign. He doesn't leave until the end of March, so we still have a couple of months here with the Mars energy. But this is going to really close everything out that you've been experiencing since like August, okay? August, September especially. Chances are you have had a lot of ideas. There's been a lot brewing in your head, a lot of creative things, and maybe the struggle for some of you has been how to like not just implement it, but how do you sustain it and how do you actually complete it? Mars is not really a planet of completing things or seeing things all the way to the finish line. Mars is about charging out of the gate, boom. And if something else catches his eye, then he's going to initiate over there. So you may have multiple things in the works right now and nothing has really finished or come to a point of completion. That is okay. Okay, I actually feel this month with the sun coming into this conjunction with Saturn here in your 9th house, this is actually going to slow everything down. Okay, we need to, now Mars, by the way, ever since like Libra, Scorpio, Sag, and Capricorn, all through these seasons, October, November, December, January, and now through February, Mars has been out at night. So like, let's say Sagittarius season with the sun in Sag, as soon as the sun would set, Mars would rise. Now it's kind of coming a little bit closer as the sun makes its way through Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, and then on into Gemini. But you can still see, like, as the sun sets, Mars is starting to come up to that highest point in the sky. If you can visualize the way this turns, the diurnal rotation, the sun sets over here, Mars rises over here. Okay, so in the late afternoon, just as it's starting to get really dark, Mars is like sitting about right here. So as it gets darker and darker in the evening hours, Mars starts to come up. Now, why is that important? Because Mars is considered a nocturnal planet. So he's strong in that part of the sky. He's strong, also really strong in Gemini. And I say strong because Gemini is considered a masculine sign. And it's an air element, right? So it's masculine. Mars is a masculine planet. Now, The nighttime sort of cools him down. We can think of like the coolness of night tempering the heat of Mars. So we have that, which is advantageous. But the fact that he's in a masculine sign like this really speeds him up. Not to mention it's Gemini, Mercury ruled. So there's a lot of speed and movement here. So I know that you've been feeling like, oh, like there's just been this like constant churning for Gemini because of this. But the sun comes into this conjunction with Saturn and cools things down because Saturn is a very cold planet. And the sun is also in detriment here. So the sun is really at the mercy of Saturn's domicile here. So it has to play by the Saturnian rules. So everything gets cooled down. And I think that's going to balance out the heat and passion of Mars a little bit. It's going to help you to focus. It's going to help you to stay disciplined. And it may help you to take a few of those open-ended projects and bring them all the way to close. You'll actually be able to deliver things. You'll be able to get paid on things. You'll be able to have some, commitment from someone about something, whatever the case is. But there is something about endings and closure for Gemini with this Saturn-Sun conjunction. Okay, and that's going to happen right before the sun comes into Pisces, which is also advantageous for Gemini as a 10th house activity, a 10th house transit, really illuminating you for new opportunities in the workplace or in whatever ventures you are participating in. So take February and you can really hone in and focus and clear off the board. Take all those Post-it notes off. Get clean, get clear. Let the chaos of Mars sort of subside. And as the sun comes in, you may have a new initiation of something else, and Mars will aid with getting that going, getting that started. So nice balance for Gemini right now, which I think is welcome. I think you really are going to welcome this energy a lot, okay? And while this is all going on, we have Venus coming into conjunction with Neptune in your 10th house. Right now, Gemini is thinking about their life in big ways, thinking about what matters most, where is it best for you to dedicate your time and attention? And I think dreaming big. I think Venus conjunct Neptune absolutely puts us in this state of dreaming in the realm of what may seem unfeasible. Okay? But it's not. It's not infeasible. It's actually quite possible for us. But we have to allow ourselves to dream first. And I think with this Jupiter conjunct Chiron, a lot of people are feeling the discomfort of even the dreaming. And you start to realize, wow, I haven't even allowed myself to dream. Like, let's say you are dreaming of being the next big tech billionaire. Random example, I know. You're dreaming of being the next big tech billionaire. You're developing some software stuff. You're working on some app or something. I don't know. But there's this part of you here, Jupiter conjunct Chiron. It's that little voice on your shoulder that we all know we have. That's like, why do you think you could do it? Why do you think it's going to be you? What makes you so special? What is it about you that everyone else doesn't have? You don't have the experience. You don't have the contacts. You're not even living in Silicon Valley. Why are you even thinking that you can do this, right? It's that little voice that's like yip-yapping in your ear all day long. It's going to be accentuated this month because of this conjunction with Chiron. Jupiter, of course, magnifies everything he comes in contact with. So he's magnifying those insecurities, but it doesn't stop you from dreaming. But you're starting to understand why you haven't dreamt so big before. You haven't because there was still something inside of you that was holding way back. And I think Gemini has been holding way back and not realizing it. You haven't been as out there as you know you ultimately want to be. So you're coming into contact with the real origin of the fear, with the real, like that origin point where everything began. And the dream is triggering it. Okay? The dream is triggering it. And this may also have a lot to do with how you feel about your social groups being in the 11th house. Realizing maybe you've held back from being social or integrating yourself into some kind of a community because maybe you didn't feel like you fit in, or maybe you didn't feel like you could, or you didn't feel like, you know, whatever. I don't know what you didn't feel or did feel, but you're starting to recognize and realize how important other people are. I do believe we all have to go through this chapter in our lives of extreme independence in order to understand how much we truly need others. And maybe that's what Gemini is coming into contact with now, understanding how relevant not only romantic relationships are, but all kinds of relationships, how essential they are, especially for you to achieve this dream. Okay, because if, again, let's just go with that next tech billionaire dream, all right? Well, you're probably going to need investors. You're going to need employees and programmers. You're going to need to lease a space. You're going to need servers. You're going to need, you know, all sorts of people and the services and talents that they provide in order for you to accomplish that dream. Right? So your relationships with people are definitely under the microscope, and they will continue to be under the microscope even as Saturn makes his way into Pisces in March, which we'll talk more about that next month. But the 10th house is not a lone wolf house either. 10th house is also a really public house, and there are a lot of relationships that come through with this as well. Okay, so you're not going to escape it. You're going to have to work through the relationship stuff. You're going to have to work through the friendship stuff. You're going to have to work through the, you know, professional and industry networking stuff as well. Okay? But this is a time when everything is starting to accelerate because we don't have any retrogrades. And I love conjunctions. I'm personally like, if I could choose any aspect to be my favorite, it would be conjunctions because they catalyze everything. Right? They speed everything up. So it's not just that we don't have retrogrades. It is also that all these conjunctions are happening this month as well. Okay? All right, Gemini. You guys know I love you. Have a fantastic month of February, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.